The moment you open the file, the pointer will be always pointing to the first location of the file. Whenever you open the file, so close the file, open it. Pointer where it will be there. So that's the reason you have seen there are so many modes that we have stated so that we can bring the pointer to the end of the file. But the initially what happens here, when you open the file pointer, it is always first here. So there are so many methods that are used in order to read the contents of the file. You can read character by character, character by character, character by character. You can read like this. So till it reaches what here? Till it reaches the end of the file. So once when the end of the file is encountered, that means we are done with. That means the data whatever we have traversed throughout the entire file. Sometimes it becomes desirable that we just need to shift the position of the pointer to any desired location. Now the pointer has to be shifted from here to here. Okay, the pointer should be shifted from here to here. The pointer should be shifted to the end of the file. Again, from the end of the file, it should move in a backward direction. Again, from a backward direction, I just want the pointer to move in a forward direction. So like this, randomly, I just want the shifting of the pointer to be done. So otherwise, first method, what you studied is get, put. Get in the sense here, you're reading character by character. You're just going to read character by character from a file. Okay. You're just going to move character by character from a file here like this. So again, when it reaches the end of the file, again, if you want, you can move in a backward direction. So by default, what happens here? The pointer just moves in one direction. It just moves in something like in a forward direction. Get C, get C, get, 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 or get C. Anything you can write. Get it. It just moves character by character here. You can put it in a loop in order to traverse. Put will write just one letter to a file. Okay, next method you studied read and write, where the whole structure could be read. Now, for example, if this is first object, you can read one object. Again, you can move to the next object. You can read the second object. Again, you can move to the third one. You can read the third object like this. You can move. But sometimes from here, pointer should come here. From here, again, it should come in a backward direction. Again, to the end of the file. Again, to the first location and so on. So for that, we come across the four important function. One is nothing but seek G, another is seek G, seek G, seek P. Again, you have is tell G, you have is tell P. Okay, so G for get, G for get, G means get. So where this method is defined in which class? If string. Okay, so this seek G, G means get reading, reading in the sense if stream. No, if you want any data to be read, if stream. If you want to write something to a file, off stream. P means put, that is off stream. All PP belongs to a class called as offstream class. These are all the member functions of a class called as offstream. Otherwise, what I do is I'll just write like this. So here it is tell G, seek G, tell G, if stream, seek P, and this you have is tell P. Seek P, tell P for a class called as what here? Offstream class. These two methods belongs to a class called as if stream. Seek P and tell P belongs to a class called as offstream. Okay. Now what is seek G? So seek G is nothing but it is just a file pointers. You should define it as a file pointers. So this moves, otherwise moves get pointer. Seek G in the sense moves your get pointer to a specified location. Moves a get pointer in the sense it is purely meant for reading. Whenever you want to read, get seek G in the sense something I want to read from the file, I can just move the pointer to any specified location in the file. Moves the get pointer to any specified location to a file. Next you have is seek P. Seek P in the sense You can say your put pointer, moves your put pointer in the sense output to a specified location in the file. So the meaning of seek G means, now assume that this itself is your data. This itself is your data. Otherwise, you have your data like this. Now I want to read something. I just want this contents to be read. Now I want to read from here. So this pointer which is pointing to the first location, I just want to shift this over here first for reading. So from here onwards, I can read till wherever you want. Okay, to bring the pointer for reading, to bring this pointer, maybe this pointer is at the beginning, you're just bringing the pointer here for the reading purpose, could be done by a function called as what here? Seek G. Okay, so seek P in the sense same thing. Suppose if I want to write from here, if I want to write from here, so I just now a pointer is somewhere here. I just want to bring the pointer over here so that from this point onwards, the user can write something. The user can write something. So that could be done by using a pointer called as seek P. Now, tell means what here? Tell G. So what do you mean by tell G? Gives the current position of this get pointer. Now, where this pointer is placed, if you want to know the location, you can go for a function called as tell G. Now, seek P, for from where you're writing, where the pointer is placed for writing. If you want to know the position of that, you can go for a function called as tell P. So, gives the current position of the put pointer, gives the current position of the get pointer. So tell P in the sense give the position of the put pointer. Tell G in the sense give the current position of the get pointer. So now whenever you are using these functions, first of all, if you want to use seek G, first thing what I have to do is I have to create one object. Stream, create one object, that is in object. I have to create like this. Then finally what you need to do is you can say here in object dot seek G. I can write like this. So here you're going to specify two parameters. One is offset, second one is origin. There. So whenever you want to use any of these functions, so you should create an object of the respective class. Either I'll be creating an object of ifstream class or I'll be creating an object of offstream class. So once when the respective object has been created, using that object, you can use the method seek G. The parameters what you're going to specify is offset and origin. Offset and origin. So what is this offset here? Offset in the sense how many bytes you're going to shift the position of the file pointer. What is offset here? How many bytes you're going to shift the position of the file pointer. That is offset. You can give 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. So origin can also be called as what here? It is also called as ref position. Ref position in the sense, basically it takes three parameters. So something like IOS scope resolution, beginning, IOS scope resolution end, is it from the end of the file? IOS scope resolution, current position of the file. Origin is also called as the ref position, which will take three parameters. Are you moving the pointer from the beginning? Are you moving the file pointer from the end of the file? Or are you moving the file pointer from the current position? So what is the meaning of this? Say now suppose if I say object dot cg of 3 comma, I'll say 3 comma IOS scope resolution BEG. If I write like this, so what happens here? Say from the beginning, 1, 2, 3, it will come over here. Okay, now when it comes and stays somewhere over here, you can call this as a current position. You can call that to be as a current position now. Now I'll say object dot seek G of 1, I'll say 2 comma IOS scope resolution current. Current means where the pointer is. Maybe I have shifted, or I might have not shifted. If have not shifted anywhere, this beginning itself is the current position. Now the current position is here. Now from there 2 bytes, 1, 2. Okay. Now what I do is, so again I'll say I object dot seek g of -3 comma iOS scope resolution END. So if I just specify negative value here, that means I'm moving in a backward direction. From the end of the file, shift the position of the pointer 3 bytes in a backward direction. So in that case, what happens here? The pointer is somewhere over here. The pointer is at the end from this end pointer. I'm shifting 1, 2, 3 in a backward direction. Okay. So suppose if I write like this, if I say object dot seek g minus 3 comma iOS scope resolution CUR, from the current position shift the position of the pointer -3 in a backward direction. So what happens here? It is over here now. 1, 2, 3. You can bring the pointer over here like this. Is it clear? So this is the way how you can shift the position of the pointer to any desired location. Is it okay with all of you? It's clear? Snehil, Tejas, where are your friends? Sarthak, Chandan, nobody has come. Sanjana, call somebody. Mohit, Sarthak, Chandan. Who else? How many? Tejas what? Oh, Nidhi has joined now. Too late. Take down these notes. After writing whatever doubts you have, you ask random access to a file. Who else is absent? Chandan, Mohit, Sarthak, then
Sir Joyce.
Joyce, Ayman. Ayman is also not there.
Sir, I am here.
Call Joyce. Tomorrow I'm keeping your class at 2:30 to 3:30, 4:30 or 4. 1.5 hours. Morning DS you finish it off. You'll get a break, have your lunch and come in for the next session. Sinchana is absent. Sanjana,
Yes, sir. Sanjana is also not there, sir.
Sanjana and
Sinchana, sir.
hmm, good. Sanjana may come in between. Call Sinchana. Over. Once you finish, you just say me. I'll scroll the screen.
So completed.
Over. Done.
Yes, sir. Completed.
You finished till here. This one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take the heading. Error handling. See, for error handling, so how do you avoid the errors? So opening a non-existing file. non-existing file. So what we do is, for opening, we go for a class called as ifstream. I create an object and the file name will be myfile.txt, something like this. You can just write like this, not of in file. This is an object, not of in file. In the sense, you can give file does not exist and you can stop the program. Assume that I'm trying to read the data from a file. File itself is not there. So for that, validation has to be done now. If not of in file, if I say file does not exist, I can say. Next, to detect an end of the file. So how do you detect an end of the file? I can write like this, while not of in file dot eof means end of file, not of object name. In file is nothing but it's an object which we have created above. So here in file dot eof is a function. That means you keep processing till it reaches the end of the file. This is the way how you can stop the file. Not of in file dot eof. Next, so I'll use the method read for reading. There is one function called as bad. Bad function, what it will do? Unrecoverable errors. There are some errors that cannot be rectified. So in case if such type of errors persist in your file, then you can give a message saying that file cannot be processed. Okay. Next, in file dot fail. Fail in the sense what here? File is not open. You have not opened the file at all and you're trying to do some activity. Then you can go for another function called as the fail function. So here you can give a message, file is not opened. Take down this error handling. Over.
Completed, sir. Completed, sir.
Finished, all of you? Okay. So let us write one simple program to calculate, okay, to write object by object to and from a file. So I'll say, so now we are writing object by object using read and write method. Just go through what is read and write method. Yesterday you studied, no? Hash include io stream.h, hash include conio.h. Okay. Next, what we do is hash include fstream.h. Next, what you can do is we'll take one class called as inventory. So within this, I'll declare some variables. So product name of size 12, integer code, something like float cost. Under public section, you can have some list of variables. So read data, okay, next void, write data. You're reading from the file, writing to a file, all these things. We'll do it here. So how do you write the read method here? So inventory, scope resolution, read data. So within this, you can just write here C in extraction product name. Okay, so something like you can give the product code as well as you can give the cost. Yeah. So we'll see wherever messages to be given, wherever it is desirable. Well, there will write here inventory, scope resolution, write data. I'll be writing here opening of the braces, see out. See here, if you want, you can use the manipulator, set iOS flags off. iOS scope resolution left side. Name should come from the extreme left side now, for which I'll be setting the width as something like 10, and I'll be writing the name as product name, NAME. Again, insertion. Then again, I'll say set iOS flag soft. iOS scope resolution, something like right side. What do you need? RIGHT. Okay. So right side insertion. So again, I'll say set width. Set width of size 10. Close the parenthesis. Insertion. So what you can do here, you can just give the cost. Okay. Insertion. So next, what you can do is, shall I say code here? I'll say code here first. Again, insertion, set width of 8, insertion, set precision of to insertion, I'll say cost insertion NDL. And manipulators are not required. If you want, you can use it, for which you have to use a header file hash include io manip.h. Okay, so just printing, displaying, that's all I have done, nothing new. Now what we need to do is, you can just start from your main program. Your main program begins from here. So in this, I'll say inventory, I'll say item of 3. So what is the meaning of item of 3 here? Array of 3 objects. This is nothing but, it is an array of 3 objects. Item of 0 will have product name, code and cost. Item of 1 will have product name, code and cost. Item name of 2 will have product name, code and cost, and so on. Clear? Next, what I do is fstream. I'll just go for one file. So file dot open. Okay, I'm using fstream. Fstream means what? I can do it for both reading as well as writing. File dot open. So what exactly you're going to open here? I'll just give the name of the file as talk.dat, the name of the file. So if I don't give the path, by default it will be stored in bin only. Later we'll delete this. IOS scope resolution. See, I'm performing both in operation as well as I'm performing both out operation. Even if you don't write binary also, no tension. If you want, you can write this binary. Otherwise, you can eliminate. Okay. So now what you do is, after this much has been done, you can just go for a loop. So here I'll say integer I is equal to 0, I lesser than 3, size is 3, I plus plus. So before this, if you want to read, you can give a message here itself. Otherwise, give it here itself. Here you can say C out, enter product name, cost, product name, code and cost. So that you can eliminate here. Otherwise, you can give the message over here. So now what I do here, first I want to read. How do you read? Come on, say me, how do you read? Nidhi, how do you read? One object, item of 3 you have. Item of 3 means item of 0, item of 1, item of 2. How do you read this? Fast. Call that read function. Item of
File dot. Okay,
I dot. What is the function?
read.
Read data. That's all. You're just calling the member function. What is a member function? Read data. No, call that read data. That's it. How do you write to a file? Snehil, how do you write to a file? See the last class
Item of
syntax.
file.
What is the syntax? See, I have created an object for which class now? For which class?
Fstream.
Fstream means what all you can do? Both reading, writing. If stream means, what is if stream? Read. Off stream, write. If stream, read. Off stream, write. So now if you're using f stream, that means what here? Both reading and writing could be done. Both reading and writing could be done. So here, item of I dot read data, you have read the data. Then what you can do is, you can just write file dot write off. So here you can say character star address of, what is object name? So here item of I, comma, size of, just turn back your page, item of I, like this. Address of object name is typecasted to pointer to a character, and what is the size of the object? This whole thing will be returned to your file. So how this writing will be done? Object by object, object by object. So here it will be written like this. First object is written here. This is your first object. Next, second object. Next, third object, item code, cost and price. Item code, cost and price. Item code, cost and price. Now I have opened the file for both reading and writing. Now the pointer is over here. If you close the file and if you open, this pointer is there, no? This pointer will be automatically shifted to beginning. Now because I have used fstream, the pointer is at the last. How do you shift the pointer to the beginning now? Who can say this? How do you shift the pointer now from here to the beginning? If you close and open, automatically pointer comes to the beginning. Now the pointer is pointing to the end. Now how do you shift this pointer to the beginning of the file? How do you shift that pointer to the beginning of the file? Louder, louder. Yes, who said that? Who said that? Uh-huh. Louder, louder, Tejas. Uh, uh. Which function you have to use, Tejas? Which function? We studied today only. What is a file object? File object. What is a file object? File. File dot reading. Reading. Seek G. G for reading. Zero means enough. Zero in the sense it moves to the beginning. Or you can say 0 comma iOS scope resolution BG also, if you want you can write. So now what I do is I'll just give one message here. Contents, CONTENTS, contents of file is. You give like this, again go for a loop, only reading now. I is equal to 0, I lesser than 3, I plus plus. So now here what you can do is first read file dot read of character star address of item of I comma size of item of I. Okay, so here item of I dot, you can say write data. Opening, and this will be the closing. Next you have is file dot close. Is this clear? We'll see whether how it works. Say product name. I'll say Horlicks code. Code, what did I give? Integer. Huh? Okay. Cost. Boost. Code cost. If you want, you can give step by step. Anything you can do. 90 rupees. Next you have a Complan. 300. 110. Look at the alignment. This that's where we make use of manipulators to align like this. Left justification, right justification. See what is the file name I have given, stock.dat. No, go for this DOS shell, stock.dat. See, can you see Horlicks, Boost, Complan and all? Like this information were recorded in 5th semester. You people will be studying a subject, very important subject, database management system. I think I've shown you some queries also, databases also. So this is a drawback. You can't rely on this type of data. Anytime the data may be crashed. Okay, so that's the reason what we do is we don't use file management system. This came in the year 1980s somewhere. People were using when something was new. When mobile came into picture, people got craze, because when mobiles were not there, people started using mobiles. Now, when you have smartphones, will you go for the basic set? Never. Okay, because you have more features, you have studied, you have understood what is smartphone, so people stick on to that. So basic set is also not outdated. Now what you do, sometimes you want one spare set to be kept at home. Okay, so just when you're out, you just want to dial and you want to speak to somebody, so you keep one, you throw that set somewhere at home, so that it could be used at any instance of time. In the same way, files are also very very essential. At one or the other situation, you will be made to store some text information. Maybe you can design one GUI where the user has to store the documentation of a particular employee or a student in a text area rather than storing it into the database. It's not a good practice to store one page of documentation of an employee or a student in the database. See, database provides that facility also, but it's not a good practice. So when you study database, you'll get to know in and out why we are mastering you in files, because you should know the system of file system. What is a drawback you have in case of your file system? How do you come up with this? How do you overcome this drawback? All these things you have to analyze and you have to study in a neat way. Then only the user will be well versed with this. So here I'll be deleting this del stock.dat. See, now if I say type stock.dat, see here, so file stock.dat not found. Take down this program. I hope you have understood now.
Yes, sir.
Just try to align this. This program was very important. People have missed today's class. Take down this.
Completed, sir. Completed, sir.
Finish all of you? What do you want? Output I deleted, man. Ade, you'll get 100, whatever it is, Horlicks, 100 price, Boost, 200 price, something Complan. See, you can see the file, no? Complan code Columbus. Okay, we'll stop it. Tomorrow is 2:30. Right on 2:30. Maybe tomorrow 2:30. 2:30 to 4 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Okay, bye bye.